watching this special presentation by QUTV. By the students, for the students.
Hello all and welcome to QUTV's final presentation of the semester. Today we'll be covering the QU men's soccer team's nearly perfect season that ended in the Final Four of the NCAA Division II tournament. Joining me to help break down the action is Falcon Editor-in-Chief Andy Martinez. We also have new to QUTV, Andrew McCulloch. He's going to be doing some reporting for us next semester. And we've got Steve McAnany from the soccer team here, the senior captain, joining us as well. We all made the trip to Louisville to see Mike Carpenter's team play. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the action from the game. So, as you can see right here, Steve, you could probably help break us down here. This was a good game. You know, Drew actually played a good game, I thought. The 4 goals wasn't really indicative of how well he played. It was just a rough game. Tell me what kind of your thoughts going out there playing in these conditions, because there was a lot of rain and slippery field.
Yeah, the rain didn't help us out at all, but I mean, it was there for both teams. Both teams had to deal with it. So yeah, it was tough conditions, but I mean, you can't really use that to an excuse when both teams, play on the same field.
Yeah. What was this kind of? What were your expectations going into this game? Did you think that the field would be as kind of difficult as it was to play on?
I mean, we played up at Bellarmine earlier in the season when we won, and it wasn't we didn't like it then, so we knew it's been raining for the past 2 days. We knew that it was going to be sloppy conditions, but we just had to deal with it.
Yeah. Cutting in right now, looking at our Tom's goal, I know it's probably low to lose the game 4-1. That was probably one of the nicest goals we've seen.
Yeah, it was definitely a great goal, big goal for him and big goal for us. But yeah, I mean, even though it was a 4-1 defeat, I mean, you never want to get shut out. So at least, get one on the board and make it, a little bit more respectable.
And 4-1, it really wasn't indicative of the game at all, because that one goal came late on in the game, and a lot of their goals were you guys were dominating, and they got you guys on the counterattack.
Yeah, I mean, Arton's goal, I mean, at that point it turned the game to 3-1, and I mean, Jordan Roberts had a great shot that would have made it 3-2, but their goalie made a save. But yeah, I mean, their goals were more off of our mistakes that we've made, and at that level you can't make those mistakes, and teams are going to make you pay for it, and that's what they did.
Yeah. But I thought, to what Andy was saying, I thought that QU created a lot of great opportunities, and you saw their goalie make some really incredible saves, and I thought if those goals could have gone either way, all of a sudden you look at a 3-3 game, the momentum and the whole game plan is completely different. So
right. I mean, even in the first half, Taylor Reese hit the post. I mean, so we created some chances, but ultimately they just finished more than we did.
And going into halftime, trailing by a score of 2-1, 2-0. Sorry. You guys have been a resilient team all year, and what was the message that Coach kind of gave to you guys at halftime?
I mean, he came in there and just he told us, I mean, I'm not going to yell at you guys. It's a Final Four. I mean, I know you guys are out there giving it your all. And, I mean, we just said, a week and a half or 2 weeks earlier, we were down 2-0 in the Elite Eight, came back and won. So basically, and he told us, you can't get 2 points for a goal. So let's just go out there and get the first one and see what happens from there.
Was the message, I know, obviously you mentioned the Elite Eight game where you're down 2-0, you come back and win that game 3-2 against Fort Hays State. You guys get that first goal against them within the first 5-10 minutes of the half. Was that what you guys were trying to do, is score quickly in the second half to kind of shift the momentum back your way?
Yeah, we wanted to get one early, first 5 or 10 minutes, just because, I mean, whoever gets the next goal in a 2-0 game is going to win the game. Either if you go down 3-0, you're probably going to lose. But I mean, if you go, 2-1, then they start, getting a little complacent, getting a little frustrated, and you never know what could happen then.
And also looking at the game, I know Jordan and X, obviously they come back for 41 goals and plenty more assists throughout them between the two of them. How difficult was it for them to be shut down and kind of know, like, these guys are scoring all these goals for us and they can't even get a shot off?
Yeah, I mean, it was obvious that Lynn was marking those two real tight, sending a double team at some times. But yeah, I mean, it was frustrated, but I mean, on this team, we've had just next man up, and then Artie comes in with the goal, which gave us energy. but ultimately it just wasn't enough for us.
Tough game, obviously, to lose, but maybe now that a few days have passed, looking back on it, how special was this ride for you guys?
Oh, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, if you would have told us we would have got to the Final Four, I mean, yeah, everyone would have taken that, but just the ride that we went on, just the games that we ended up winning that we might have not deserved. I mean, we beat McAnany 1-0 in overtime in the last minute of double overtime. When we came back against Bellarmine in the last 5 minutes, go up 2-1. I mean, games that in the past we might have lost our composure and got mad and lost. This year's we had a very upperclassman-oriented group, and we just remained calm, and it was just unbelievable.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that that game against Bellarmine specifically, where you guys did come down, I thought if you look at that game, you can really chart the progress of how kind of the men's soccer program really took over the student body, because obviously, like you said, there's a lot of expectations for the men's soccer team, and you could see the attendance at the games, you could see the energy levels, especially going into the conference tournament of the student body as you guys kept winning. It was spectacular to see that. And then the Bellarmine game where they came back, down, it looked like they were going to get upset, and then you guys find a way to pull it out. I thought that was a great statement win for you guys, and probably the highlight of the year for me.
Yeah, it was the atmosphere at the home games was always good, but when you start winning, more people want to come out, the student body, and more local people want to come out and check it out. I mean, if you haven't lost or only have one loss all year, then more people are going to come out, and that was really nice to see that there was a lot of people out there.
Yeah,
How much extra motivation does it give you and the team to see more and more fans come out and see you guys play, especially when you guys are winning games and getting the student body very excited about soccer?
Right. I mean, no one wants to, go out there and if you're going to lose.
Right.
So, winning obviously helped out. And I mean, every game when there was, a packed house or a lot of people there, I mean, yeah, it just gave us extra motivation because, I mean, in the Bellarmine game especially, we're down 1-0 in the last 5 minutes, and they're still cheering, and and then we got that first one, and there was no doubt in my mind that we were going to win the game in regulation after that, and yeah, it was pretty impressive.
Well, moving on here, even though the Hawks could not capture a national championship, the team, they had a record-breaking season. Jordan Roberts, GLVC Player of the Year. Drew Junkin broke the record for the school record for shutouts in a season, and the Hawks are in their first Division II tournament victories. What was the moment for you guys that stood out in the season? And see if I'll let you take it away. What's the kind of the singular moment that stood out for you?
The singular moment has to be, for me, the Fort Hays State game, just when we were down, at halftime 2-0 in the Elite Eight, but no one in the locker room ever panicked, said, well, we're going to lose this game. And just like how we came back, because they thought that they won the game at halftime, and how we came back and we ended up winning that game was probably it was the most exciting soccer game.
How does that compare to your tenure here at QU? Is that the most exciting game you've ever played in?
Yeah, QU, high school, anything, that was the most exciting game.
I know one game that we didn't touch about was Drury. You played them twice. Obviously, they were second in the conference standings in the regular season. And the first time you guys play them, you guys go down not once but twice, and you battle back all 3 times, or all 2 times. What was that like, and what was that game? Because it kind of was a precursor to what was going to come the rest of the year.
Yeah, that really kind of jump-started us a little bit too, because Drury was either second or third in conference. They're a good team, and we went down once, like you said, on a free kick, and then we come back and tie it, and then they hit another free kick, and we come back, and that was just the resiliency of this group. It was there the whole year, and no matter what situation that presented itself or what the score was, we knew that we could have a chance of winning the game.
I know. Talking to Carp, he always knew that what you guys did this year was possible. But was that game kind of the one that clicked in your head that said, hey, this really is a team that can do something?
Yeah, definitely. Beating Drury. To be honest, my whole tenure here, we have never lost to Drury. So in our minds, we kind of always knew that didn't matter how good they would be or what they did, that we would beat them just because we haven't lost to them. And So that was, in our minds, we always figured that we would win the game. So it was, it was a good game.
And then you guys get them again in the NCAA tournament. Basically, almost kind of a similar game. You guys are grinding it out, and you pull out a victory late, and you get that penalty kick. One thing I want to ask you is that celebration, the Jurgen Klinsmann dive. If you guys don't know, he slides basically stomach first into the ground. Where did that one come from?
It was just been raining all morning, and I just kind of told the guys, because, I think that was my second goal all year, that, if I score, I'm going to do the slide. I didn't think necessarily that I was going to score, and then when that went in, I just felt like I had to do it.
Yeah, and in that game, another late game situation, X gets that winner for you. What was it like knowing, obviously, in the Final Four game, you have Artie who scores a goal, and throughout the year, you knew Jordan and X what they can do, but it was always someone different that stepped up in each and every game.
Right. The supporting cast that we had on this team was just great. Next year we're graduating a lot of seniors, but we're going to have a young team on paper, I guess you could say, but not a young team in moments and stuff, because they've seen everything. Not a young team in experience, because they went on the ride with us. A lot of them played vital key roles, and they stepped up to the challenges that we needed them to.
Talk to me a little bit about the Louisville experience. Just obviously, I know a lot of the focus was on the game and trying to win and get to the next game, but obviously there were other sights and sounds that you did. Talk to me about the trip and what that was like, and what the whole experience of being in Louisville was like.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. The hotel that we stayed at was top notch, and then they had a players lounge in there where they would have 3 flat screen TVs with Xbox 360s that got FIFA, NBA, anything, and then they got a ping pong table, air hockey, and just games like that, just like designated for the teams that were in the D2 festival. And then, the horse track was a nice sight to see that, probably never going to be able to see it again. So yeah, it was a good experience.
I know you guys didn't get laying up, but did you guys play them in ping pong or anything like that?
No, they weren't staying at the same hotel.
I gotcha.
But we didn't play against them.
Yeah.
I know the result wasn't what you guys wanted, but can you just kind of talk about how, just like you said, the experience of Louisville, but just kind of how you and your teammates kind of got closer together as the season went on, and just how maybe you guys kind of became like the brotherhood.
Yeah, I guess you could say we already had the basic brotherhood with all the seniors, the guys that have been here for 3-4 years. But everyone else, we just grew as a team throughout the year, and it was good. And like I've told like the underclassmen and stuff, like just whether you play 0 minutes or 90 minutes or whatever you do for this team, it doesn't matter, because it's for the team this year, and you never know if you're going to be back here, because I've been here for 4 years, and this was our first time we even won an NCAA tournament game. And so getting to the Final Four is hard. And so I wanted everyone to just, enjoy the ride, and just be in for the team.
Yeah, I think that's a great message. You talked about a brotherhood, and unfortunately, kind of like a lot of brotherhoods, they kind of drift apart because a lot of senior leadership is going to be leaving. Talk about, you're going to see guys like Jordan Roberts go, Drew Duncan. There's a plethora of talent on this team. What do you see the outlook of this team being next year? Who do you look to that's going to kind of step up and have a larger presence on the team?
Well, obviously, for next year's team, X is going to play a vital role like he did this year and like he did last year. He's just a great player, and he's going to be one of the key players again next year. McAnany is going to he'll play a big role. He played a big role this year too, and he's a great player. Michael Timmerman, he'll be a big key next year. He can play wing back or center mid. He can play all over. Taylor Reese, Tommy Corper, guys like that. And with all the seniors graduating, you just have to think that Carp and Sean will go out and get new freshmen to come in, because they do a great job at recruiting players. So I'm sure some players that they bring in next year will play a vital role.
What's the message that you would give to incoming freshmen while you were, on the team?
I'd have to say just every day, just give it your all, because, one day it's not going to be there, and you're gonna want to play, but you won't be able to.
Yeah.
Like Carp and Sean, they would during the week they would get us prepared for the games, but on game day, Carp and Sean's they'll say they'll make adjustments at halftime, but this is our game. We're the ones out there playing it, and anything that they can do besides slight adjustments are. That's about it. They can't go out there and play. And they said if they could, looking back on it, they would have worked harder when they were, playing. Then now, obviously, they can't.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned in the press conference after the game, you put Quincy back on the map. What's that mean for the senior class to be able to a storied Quincy program? To be honest, though, that hasn't done much since their last national championship in 1981. What's it like to kind of bring them back and raise them back up, so to say?
Yeah, it feels really nice to be able to put them back on the map because, obviously, since 1981 they've had some good years, but not like the great years that they were accustomed to. So I think it's quite an accomplishment for this senior class to take that away to help bring it back, and it's pretty awesome.
And a big component has been Jack McKenzie. Obviously, the field's named after him, legendary coach who was coach for 40+ years. You were one of the few players who was left on the team that played for both Coach McKenzie and Coach Carp. What was it like playing for Jack?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. He's a great guy. He's a great coach. And even like this year when he would go out and like drive to Truman to go scout them when they played home games because they play during the day. So there's little stuff like that he doesn't do now, but that he still does for this team, this program, because he's always going to be affiliated. He loves it. So, and just the passion that he has for Quincy and for the game is something that not a lot of people have. So that was pretty cool to see.
And talking about your position specifically, if you guys don't know, he's a center midfielder on this team. You kind of play sort of say a quarterback role. And if for those that know soccer, I always tell people you kind of look like an Andrea Pirlo from Italy. He kind of sat back and just dictated the play and let everyone do everything. Was that kind of what you kind of did, or explain to me more your role?
Yeah, that's what I helped link up, like basically just link up, the defense to the forwards. So the defenders would play me the ball, and I would pass it around and be in support for the team. And I just tried to the best I can get it up to our front 3 and 4, because obviously with our offense how good it was this year, that I just needed to get it up to them, and they would do the rest of the work.
And you talked about defensively. Last year, you guys missed out on the NCAA tournament even though you won the GLVC regular season, and a lot of it was defensively. What did Carp do? What did you guys do off-season, preseason to kind of shore up the defense?
It started last year in the spring. After I think it was our first meeting after when we came back from break, and he just said, we can't be giving up all these goals. We can't be, winning all of our games 3-2, 4-3. So we started in the spring with better defensive shape, and that really helped us out this year. Our defense was great, and we just had a mindset that, as a defense, that we're at least going to score one goal. We were only shut out one time this year, and that was by UMSL 0-0 tie. So we figured that we would score, at least one goal a game, and, if you have a shutout, you're going to win that game.
How special was this team?
Yeah, this team was, just so resilient, just, wouldn't, succumb to the pressure or anything, just anything that, was thrown upon us until the last game we were able to deal with. And, this, everyone will remember this forever. So, it was pretty special.
Absolutely.
Great. So, in QU soccer, not the only team from the fall sports season to have a great year. Football turned their record around from 2-9. They're 6-5 this year. I think there's a lot to look forward to for fall sports next year. Hopefully, Giovanni DeCage can pick up and kind of help lead the men's soccer program to prominence yet again. Hopefully, they can build on this winning season. It'll be a difficult task because you guys fielded such a great team. Is there anything that you guys took away from fall sports this semester? Anything that stood out to you?
Well, sticking with the soccer team, I know, talking to plenty of people around school and around the athletic department, everyone knew that this was a possibility. The team could make a Final Four and make a special run, but it was always, you never really know that kind of thing until they actually do it. So to kind of see them actually make this run and get to Louisville and make the Final Four and do all these things, it was special, and it probably had to be more gratifying for you, especially a member on the team.
Yeah, it was definitely special. I mean, there's not much else to say. I mean, it was a great run, and I mean, yeah, like I said earlier, everyone's going to remember this for the rest of their life, and I mean, no one can take it away from you.
Absolutely. I don't think I'll ever forget covering all these soccer games. It was a great experience, and I think it's something that will stay with the student body and the university for a long time. Steve, I want to thank you for joining us today, taking time out of your busy schedule. For Andy Martinez, Andrew McCulloch, I'm Ethan Cowgill. Thanks for watching.